Given the state of the world right now, is the U.S. sending enough? Are they spending enough on defense? Are we prepared for any kind of major conflict? Congresswoman Porter, you have 60 seconds.
There's no doubt that the world is facing new dangers and our country is facing new threats. I have led on issues, for example, of the threats that we're facing in the Indo-Pacific from China and other regional powers. This is a time to be investing in diplomacy. Yes, we have the strongest military in the world, and I particularly want to support the amazing people like my brother who step up and who serve, who are veterans and service members, and we need to recruit our best and brightest into the military. At the same time, we have to make sure that's where our tax dollars are going, to actually make us safer, not just to help huge corporations get richer through the Pentagon budget. And we have seen a number of failures in this regard. And so I think it's really important that we separate out those issues. How do we keep our men and women safe? How do we keep our country safe? That means someone who's going to look forward, look at the future, and understand the threats that are coming from AI, from cyber, and from new kinds of technology.
Mr. Garvey.
National defense is our single most important issue. Without that, everything else is irrelevant. Peace through strength. We have to remember that we're the torchbearer for democracy around the world. We have to have policy that shows our enemies that we're serious, we will address every issue when approached. But we also have to make sure our military is capable, technology-wise, militarily. We have to have the best equipment. So we need to make sure that our military is fully funded at all times.
Congresswoman Lee, you have 60 seconds.
I'm the daughter of a veteran, 25 years. He served in World War II, in Korea, served in Japan. He was a proud patriot, and he told me over and over and over again to make sure that our readiness was intact, but also that we protect our troops. And let me tell you, the Pentagon budget is excessive. It's $890 billion. We need to cut at least $100 billion out of the military budget and put into readiness and put into our troops. I lead each and every year in my effort to get past the People Over Pentagon Act, and in the Senate, I will do that. Military contractors, they're scamming the taxpayers. We tried and are working with Republicans to claw back money that weapons dealers really stole from the Pentagon in terms of tax dollars. And so, no, we need to reduce the military budget, put more into readiness, into our troops, into our veterans, into our domestic needs, and we also need to put more into development and diplomacy instead of increasing the military budget.
Thank you. Mr. Schiff.
Colleen, my dad is 96. He joined the service at the end of World War II. He actually went to join the Marine Corps, but failed the physical. He had flat feet and bad eyesight. 2 weeks later, he went to join the Army, thinking maybe they had a different physical standard, maybe a different examining physician. Turns out, same standard, same physician. And the guy recognized my dad, and he said, "You really want to get in that bad?" And my dad said yes, and he was in the Army. He raised his two sons to have great respect for those who wear the uniform. We have a challenge recruiting because we don't pay our service members enough for the dangers that they have to face and the hardships their families have to face. And there are areas where we need to cut the Pentagon budget. I remember meeting with President Obama to discuss our deficit and debt problem, and one of my colleagues used the occasion to argue for more F-22s, something the Pentagon said they didn't need, we couldn't afford. And the president said, you know, if we're going to handle the deficit, I need to make national security decisions based on national security. And that's what we need to do.
Ms.